Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Academy podcast. I know it's not Wednesday, it's not even Thursday, it's only Tuesday, but today we have a very special guest. And I also know that I always say special guest because every single person who is in my live stream are special, right? They're special. And today we have Mike King in the house. But guess what? You know me, we gotta go and groove first, right? Let's start it, groove it, and let's see what we can come up with today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Academy. Thank you so much for our 25,000 YouTube subscribers. We appreciate you so much. Because of you, our MP3 is now also globally ranked at top 10% out of 3 million podcasters out there. This is an amazing milestone for us. Thank you so much. We are here for you. We have MP3, we have live streams, we have TV show, and soon will be internet radio. We are also doubling up our TV network. We have TV shows on Thursdays at 9 a.m. PST and Sunday at 7 p.m. PST. We are in 90 nations and countries in 25 distribution channels. Our mission is to be the Netflix of education, and our mission is to level up the world through education. Please help us. And of course, this is my amazing, sometimes loving the A-listers on Hollywood like Stan Lee and Greg Nicotero from Walking Dead, Alien, Lance Henriksen, Kassir, right, from the Tales of the Crypt, and the zombies of Ken Forey. I love the old zombies. I am also a 3 times international best-selling co-author and author as well, self-publishing on Amazon and academic publishing. We are collaborating projects. We do membership, courses, coaching, graphics design, book publishing, mentorship, and we are your publicity hub right here at Level Up Academy. We also have Level Up Circle TV on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, and Google Play. 1,000 things. Thank you so much. Are you a curious student, eager to learn new skills and make your mark in the world? Or are you a professional seeking to advance your career and unlock your full potential? You need to be equipped with effective soft skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and more. The Level Up Academy by Doc Leland bridges the gap between education and employment through transferable skills training. Get the soft skills you need to be more effective at work.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, I wanted to do an author's call. Next week is your last week and your last chance to be part of our anthology. Really, if you have a story to tell, and you want to inspire the world to tell your story, because this will be international, and we have authors from Australia, we have authors pretty much everywhere, and mostly, of course, here in the United States, for our brothers and sisters to share their stories so we can make more impact. When you share your story, you leave a legacy that will be forever here to stay, well beyond us. 100 years from now, they will remember your story, right? You have until February 1st. That is the last day to sign up. If you need more information, just DM me on LinkedIn, or you could go to luabyduckleland.com slash authors dash page. It will be there also on the very top. Just say click here, and I cannot wait to network with you. Anybody who is part of this book will also have a free airtime on my TV to read 5 minutes of your book part and really share your story to the world, right? And we have about almost 4 million downloads on our TV show. And of course, I am trying. You guys, if you're not subscribed yet on my YouTube channel, please do. I'm trying to hit 50,000 this year. So hopefully you guys can help me. But today, let's talk about this man right here, the man, Mike King. Are you guys ready to get to know who Mike King is, what he does, and how does he amplify his message and also provide value not only to his current community but also community throughout the world? Are you guys ready? I'm gonna see if Mike is ready. He's gonna give me a thumbs up. You guys can't see him, but I see him. So Mike, yep, he is ready. That's a long drum, isn't it? That's because you're special. Hello, Mike. How are
Well, thank you,
you?
thank you. I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome to Level Up Academy podcast. This is your first time here, so welcome. And introduce yourself to our listeners and to our viewers. Who is Mike King Biz?
Well, really, I'm Mike King. I have a radio talk show in the Richmond market. It is a social enterprise business show. It talks about how business helps society be better. I just so happen that it's on. There I am.
There you are. You're back.
Hello, hello.
Yep, can hear you. Are you good? Uh-oh. Did we lose
Hello,
Mike?
I am here.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Mike, can you hear me? Are you good?
Dr. Constance.
Yes, I am here. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Well, there goes Mike. He is definitely busy. He went and changed one studio to the other. So I'm sure he will be back with us soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to highlight Hounds of Business here. We can't wait for this one. Only 15 minutes, right? It was already here and we are here. Hopefully, we'll have Mike come back to us. It is definitely showtime. And we are making sure that we can talk about how does one amplify your message to help brands, right? And so we are going to be talking about that, making sure that we understand how business is done. So let's bring Mike back. There you
Are you
are.
there? I am. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Technology is great when it works. So it is a social enterprise business show that is based on how business helps society be better. From a business standpoint, I don't work for the radio station. I'm a customer. So that way, even though I'm on ESPN Richmond here in the Richmond market, I'm on from 5 to 7 a.m. I talk about business things. It's not typical for a sports station to talk about business or community things, but since I'm a customer from a business standpoint, they uh they take the money. So what we do is we talk about business. So from the business standpoint, I have sponsors and advertisers who I promote during the show. And what we're able to do is then it enables me to talk to nonprofits, business people who come onto the show. Most people come to the show do not pay because I have great sponsors and advertisers who have the same idea that business can help society be better. So last year, we donated 24,000 minutes of free airtime to nonprofits and business people. And I'm
Wow.
able to do that because I have great sponsors. Like one of my friends is on right now, who is Tiffany Green, and she is always talks about how business being purposeful in business works. That I call it the touchy feely thing. She talks about that there is a big benefit to being a social, I guess, a socially conscious organization. So that's what I do every day. And I met up with the hounds of business, and life changed. I started meeting people on a global scale, talking about people talking about doing good business in the right way.
That is. And welcome to the hounds. I love it. And, that's one thing too is we are heart centered. We love to give away our time. I can't even count countless times of projects that I do for free. It's because I love community. I love putting people together. I also love highlighting people. So my shows and my podcast is free every single Wednesday. The TV show, I have to pay airtime for that one, and I am still looking for sponsors on that one until I can get sponsors. The TV, you have to pay for airtime at this point. But the the weekly Wednesdays for me is free because I want to highlight people like you who's giving their time to highlight other people and what they do for business because that's the only way, right? The only way we can move forward with how we do business. But I wanted to go back a little bit and really ask about you, right? So think back, Mike, 20 years ago and find within your timeline some of the significant changes in your life that got you here where you are today.
Okay, so I'm going to go even further back from that. So I was an only kid so my parents. I told people I sort of grew up privileged. My parents did well. My dad had been an orphan, and my mom came from something. My dad didn't know how to do anything, but he was good at business. So I always grew up around business, and they were the place where people came in. So he owned dry. He was, for the people who are old enough, he was George Jefferson. My dad owned dry cleaners, and so people would come in, excuse me, and they would have a problem, and he'd say, "Hold on a second," and he'd get on the phone, and a person would appear to help whoever needed some help, learning the value of the person. It was the middleman. So he would always say, "I don't care who you know; it's who knows you." That's the difference. So I always the idea was you have the ability to help people. When people come into the radio station, they come on my show, a lot of times they need help with things. So we may feature a person, it's a pink chair project. And what they do is they give recliners to people who had mastectomies. I
Mhm.
didn't have a clue what that was. You guys existed, and all of a sudden they're telling their story. It's going to touch somebody. So my parents were always the ones who said the person can come over. I was an only kid with bunk beds because on the sheer possibility that somebody could come and stay with me. So I keep my friends around. I've been married for 43 years. Me and my wife, we go everywhere together. This is more of the sales mic of her. She came from one of 8 kids. And for people who know me, I deal a lot with the people that I know. The radio station, the show, it keeps my friends around, and that way we can all sort of move in a pack, which is there's safety in numbers. So I was in the army for a long time. I was a medic. Always liked helping people. I get out of the army. I'm a salesman. I used to work for a company called AccuWeather, where they told you what the weather content, what the weather is going to be. I work with the LA Times, the San Diego Tribune, on a lot of papers on the West Coast. We would talk about weather content, but I always had the idea of how that impacted people's lives. We live on like a pay it forward model, that it's a regular day. Somebody's watching this, and something that will be said today can change the course of somebody's life. And for us, it's a regular Tuesday. It's a regular Wednesday. It's a regular day. You didn't know that today you said something to a person that was an aha moment for them. And so that's what we use the show for. People come into the studio. A lot of times people are nervous. I was nervous too. Now I just get on and start talking. I don't care. What am I going to say? People say, hey, do you have a list of questions? We're like, no. What am I going to ask you? You know what you do. Tell the world.
That's
And so
right.
we give them a platform. So thank you for giving me a platform to your audience, because there's somebody here who's going to connect with me. People think, they say, hey, I'm on ESPN Richmond. They're like, oh wow, I love sports. And I got to break it down to them like, yeah, me too, but we ain't talking about sports. No, we're not talking unless somebody talks to me and they say something.
Yeah.
And that's what we do every day, talking to people. So I'm on from 5 to 7 a.m. because they won't get rid of real sports people for me.
Mm,
And
yeah.
that's what we do.
Well, listen, 5 to 7 a.m. is great because I used to live in Virginia. I think I told you this. I was everywhere pretty much. We stayed a little
Yes.
bit at Needham, not Needham, Sterling, sorry, and then all the way to other places there. And we love Virginia. The only thing that I was having a hard time is that I didn't see that much Asian store, and I used to cook a lot because I don't drive on snow. Snow and myself, we're not friends. Okay. I can't handle the snow on the East Coast. And I literally was there for like 6, 7 years. And I told my husband, I was like, I gotta go. Like, we cannot stay here. I'm an island girl. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I mean, California weather at like 50 degrees is cold for me. I need like 80, 90, 100 degrees. I'm good. And my husband just looks at me and starts smiling. He's Italian, right? So he's so funny. And we've been married 21 years, so 40 years. I don't know. That's amazing. That is super
When
amazing.
you tell someone 20, 21 years, people's heads spin around.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
When that's a very long time, but you don't do it in years. You do it in days.
In
You do it
minutes
in
sometimes.
Yeah.
In
It's just like, hey,
minutes.
you know what? I always joke and say lack of money keeps a lot of people married, because it's just like, you know what? If we hit the number, my wife always says, if we hit the lottery, we can buy houses right next door to each other,
Yeah.
and you can
Can we
live
build
over
a
there.
mile? Just a mile. You go get your man cave over there. I stay over
Yes,
here with my yeah. Oh my
that
gosh.
that is that is for sure. So
Yeah.
that's my story. I fell into radio by helping a guy market a show, and next thing he said, "Hey, would you like a show?" So I'm on ESPN now. I started on conservative radio, and everyone was scared to come there. They're like, "I'm not coming there." And I would read a disclaimer that I'm not here talking politics. I'm here talking business. And it grew from there to coming to ESPN.
That is so amazing. You're carrying that
That's it.
word because that word, it doesn't matter what language you speak. People pretty much know the four-letter words and it carries clout. Let's be honest, right? What's really a twist is that I always, like everyone knows ESPN is sports. But then when you're like, no, no, I don't talk about sports much. I just talk about business. I'm like, huh? I had to scratch my head for a little bit there when you said that. And then I realized, yes, this is a strategy that is amazing because now you're not only talking about what matters really. Everything that we do every day is business, everything, right? And the only difference is that some businesses are amazing, but no one knows about them. No one, until they come up to a stage on a platform and said, "Hey, Mike, can you please sponsor me? I need someone to know about me." So that's our topic today. How does amplifying your message help your business? From your experiences, Mike, you've been on the radio for a long time now. I wanted to know, what are some of the feedback that your clients give you? Like, "Hey, Mike, thank you for doing this for me, and this is what's happening with my message." So how does amplifying one's message help someone's business?
Here's one that I always say. Sorry, battling a cold here. No one ever bought something from a person they never heard of. They never bought a product that they never heard of. That's for sure. You had to hear about it somewhere. So what it does is it says, okay, how do I let people know what I do? You have to tell people. It is kind of so for people who grew up in my era, you had a diary. And this is for girls mostly, but guys did some form of this. So you wrote in your diary, and it was a locked one, so you locked it. And then you put it in a box, and then you put it under the bed so that no one would see. We come from a different time now. Before businesses were brands, everyone is a brand now. So you are a brand that you have to be cognizant of. If you're in the military, you're a brand, that's how you get promoted. If you're in corporate America, you are a brand that has to get promoted. Part of that one is letting people know who you are and what you do. I wear my name on, where am I at here? On everything. No, it's the other side. So there I am.
Yeah.
I wear my name on everything. So a person says, "Excuse me, what's your name?" I'm like, there it is right there. Because why am I wearing Nike? Why am I wearing Under Armour? Why am I wearing that? I'm wearing my brand. So when I help people, I go out and I'm out and people are like, "Oh, you're Mike King." Oh, or "I heard the brand, I heard your show." So there's a couple counties away from here. A lady, we do economic development. She got a call and a contact from Japan. And the person asked her, she asked them, "How did you find me?" From Japan, they said, "Hey, we heard you on the Mike King Biz radio show." So it's not just in the market that it's in. We help raise money for the American Heart Association or Down syndrome, and they always say, "Hey, we gave you a platform and somebody heard of us." So I'm only from 5 to 7. Sometimes people say, "Well, I don't know if anybody's listening." I used to sell for a TV station. And someone says, "Well, it's CW. Nobody listens to CW overnight." So I'm like, okay, they probably don't. But let's offer your product for free. If you are so sure that nobody's listening, offer it for free. I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen. You are going to blow up. It works. I don't have to be in your market. Why is Chick-fil-A on in every market? Why is Walmart on? Why is Temu running commercials on TV and radio? Because people need to know who you are and where they can find you. That's the bottom line to it. I never believed in that Instacart or picking up grocery delivery. And then my son and my grandkids came with us stay for a while. And next thing I know, yo, this is a beautiful thing. You mean they will bring that stuff from Walmart and bring it to the door? I'm like, whoever thought that up was a genius.
Yeah. No,
Why?
I
Because
use
you
that.
start seeing it.
I don't drive on snow in Virginia. And actually, I stayed in Boston for a while with my husband, also works there. And our kids were little. I was like, how do I drive in the snow? I was so scared. And people look, my neighbors, like, "You just drive through." I'm like, "No, what if I slid? I skid?" CJ, you have all weather tires. I don't know what that means, but I don't want to drive. So 1 inch of snow, I'm like, start panicking.
It's
And they
like
do.
that.
They deliver ten
It's
bucks
like
and
that
you're
down
done.
here that you kind of worry about when it's 99 degrees. That worries me.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, because of hot weather too. It's too hot, and Virginia gets sticky, and it also gets hot in there. Kimberly, I love this one. How can they buy if they never heard of it? You are a brand. That is true. That is why I'm switching my business to basically ensure
Uh-oh.
that we are
So,
there.
Doc, I'm here. I'm in studio. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but
I can. I can hear you. Oh no, Mike is gone. I hope Mike can be back. I think he's switching his studio, but Kimberly, I wanted to actually provide this right here. How can you buy if you never heard of it? That is so true. That's why I want to amplify people's message because of that, right? You are a walking brand and you are talking to people all the time to make sure that they know who you are, what you offer, what can you give to the world, because every single one of us really has something to offer. It's just a matter of amplifying your message. And the way to amplify your message, at least coming from me, is to ensure that you actually bring your brand to collaborate with other people like myself or like Mike King, right? So, yeah, I love doing that and I'm glad that you're back again here.
you know what?
Um
I'm so sorry. I'm here in the studio. I don't know. We're having crummy weather here today in Virginia. So I'm sorry about that. It is
we roll with it. We just roll with it. I see your um internet today is
it
not so
is
hot.
I am so sorry that it is not cooperating.
That's all right. That's all right. Now, I wanted to talk about how can people really think about amplifying their message if they don't have anyone to collaborate with? Like, what are some of the first steps that you would ask them to say, hey, you could come to my show and this is what we're going to do? What are some of those things that you would provide for them as far as advice? Oh no, Mike is gone. Jamie just got back from San Diego where CJ is. So visiting my family. I mean CJ, that's next time. Oh, you didn't tell me. I was here the whole time. Yes, next time. Definitely come to us. Ollie, hugs Michelle. So great to see you. Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I know you're quite busy with your pups. So I'm glad that you are here today. Free is planting a seed. That is true. Free is planting a seed. And
Oh,
yeah.
so here we are. Okay, can you got me now?
Yes, I got you now.
Okay. So I'm sorry. We're just gonna let this one go. Different phone, different. So we're here. Alrighty. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. My question was, how does one actually collaborate with you and to amplify their message? What are some of your advice to actually, because I know you're a busy man, you got a schedule. Like me, my schedule's all the way till March, right? Like for that. So what are some of the things that people can say, hey, I want to collaborate with Mike? Who are the kinds of people that you actually want to collaborate with?
Thought leaders, people who do things that are different. So before I came here, I used to work at AccuWeather. The founder of AccuWeather invented something. He invented people paying for weather content. The uh the government will say it is going to be severe weather between 12 and 6. And he said, no, it's not going to be, but you got to pay me. So because says I have 50 meteorologists sitting here with me, it only is going to be bad weather that you have to shut your business down between 1 and 2. That birthed a business. That's why he's in the Guinness Book of World Records as a founder. The government will give you something for free. He will make you pay for it. And that's the idea of collaboration. I always like the best and the brightest and finding them and giving them a platform. What does it do for me? It showcases the people that I know. I always say I know some cool people doing some really cool and impactful things. I have the platform that allows people to do that. A lot of people have podcasts. A lot of people have podcasts. Everyone has a podcast. Hey doc, we got radio shows. We have TV shows. That makes us different than everyone else. You just cannot say whatever you want on the radio or on TV. No,
No.
you cannot. But what it does is it gives us the ability to showcase our audience, the people that we know. So here I'm talking to you about what you do and having an impact. What does that do for me? Increases the value of how people see me. It's, how you impact people. And so that's what I'm looking for. People are doing some really cool things. What are cool things? I don't know. I met a I met a guy who he said he scaled Kilimanjaro. I'm like, that's cool. I used to live in Alaska. What else am I going to talk to him about? I don't know, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
you know what I would love to see? Like, we do karaoke nights hound style, and then like the men and all the women in our hounds group just put makeup on. I'll teach you guys how to put makeup on. That would be hilarious, I think. That would be content forever. Like, that would be funny, right? I thought something, because we talk about business all the time and how to do this. And quite honestly, for me, honestly speaking, I didn't start with being a publicity hub. I started with being a dean at a university. I had a problem. I wanted to just put them all so they could listen to Apple. That was it. That was how it started last year. Okay? That's how it started. And didn't think it's happened. And then all of a sudden I'm thrust to all of these. I was like, okay, I gotta get a bigger vision. I want to be the Netflix of education. I call it idioflex, like education flex. It's not edutainment. I'm not gonna go dance. Well, okay. I sing and dance once in a while, but I want to put people at ease when it comes to business. Just be yourself. Talk about your own journey and how you got here. And I love how you're set up for your business, right? And I love your advice. Wear your own name, be your own brand. And you're right. What differentiates you from other podcasters? What would your answer be for that one? Because you do radio, you don't really do podcasts, right? Or do you do
No,
podcasts?
I just do radio. So people come to the radio station, they come to my show, they are nervous. They're nervous. So I see a lady, she runs King's Dominion, which is like Disney World. So she runs that here, and I see her over in the corner. She's having like a mild meltdown. I can see it. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, she's like, so what do we? I'm like, hey, listen. I'm like, this ain't brain surgery. It's not. This is, so we're gonna talk. So I said to her, how did you get started in the amusement park business? She said, my parents got married in an amusement park, and that's the first job I ever had. And that's the only job. Lady, that's the story. Your parents got married in an amusement park? She said, when I have a tough day, I can go ride one of the roller coasters. I'm like, I talk to people every day. You're the first one who is able to you go out and ride a roller coaster? By the way, how did they build this roller coaster? You know what? Now we're having a story. We're having a conversation. Hey, they have these fright nights. I'm like, okay. She said, but I'm like, I'm not the scary type. So they say to me, don't worry. We'll sell you a bracelet so it says don't scare them. I'm like, okay. So wait a second. You charge me to come in for Fright Night. And because I'm a scaredy cat, I can buy a bracelet from you that says, don't jump out on this guy.
Yeah. Listen, if you put clowns in that scary night, it's on. I will tackle you. I hate clowns, okay? I hate them. And so, if you come on Fright Night with clowns, I'm going to start swinging some bat, something, because I don't do clowns at all. And Scott's like, no makeup. Scott, come on. It's just
It
for
you know
fun.
that's the fun thing that we do. So we're just talking to people. And when
Yeah.
we're talking to people, we put their brand out there to the people that we know and we have a platform to showcase. That's what we do every day. That's what you do. And so you bring the best and the brightest from the internet, and COVID shrunk the world really. So I was in the military. So there would be times that we would go we would go to the Philippines on we'd just take a hop to the Philippines and it would cost $10 to go. Now the problem is there was no scheduled time to come and go. So you'd have to wait for a flight to come back. And that's what we did. But the Philippines or the Far East was far away. The world has shrunk now. The world is just, you're able to talk to any and everyone with the use of a cell phone that you can promote business. So when I'm talking to you, I'm asking, hey, what's the business ecosystem in California? When we talk to someone else, hey, what's the business ecosystem where you are? What is working for business there? And we take those minds and we take those topics, and next thing you know, we tell our friends, we tell other people, like, man, well, those guys are smart. No, we just took your idea and said, hey, we heard it somewhere, and that's what we do. So when I'm talking to CJ, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I heard this, and next thing you know, a person said, really? I'd never thought about that. And we take that information, we give it to the audience, and then they bring whatever they're bringing to us. Maybe they're an author on a topic I'd never heard of. And I'm like, wow, really? Maybe it's a chess champion who's 12 years old. I don't know.
That's one thing I love about it. I met so many amazing people around the world. In fact, I have developed really great friendship from all of these people. I've never met them in real life, right? And we talked about, hey, we got to meet up one of these days. I'm like, yeah, I'm flying to Australia for sure, or I'm gonna go visit you in Japan. It makes me so happy to see that technology that we use can make that. And like I always say, hey, the world is now a borderless market, literally, right? We can talk to anybody using technology, which I love. And when you talk about Philippines, that is so funny. I have a question for you. Do you know, or did you know, that one of the most expensive place you can go in the island of the Philippines cost 150,000 a night dollars?
No, I did not. And
I
clearly,
did not
because
know that either.
I was traveling on a military budget. We were flying on airplanes going backwards. So it's not like a regular airline, where you're sitting there and the airplane is going forward. Here it's kind of going the other way. So no, ma'am, I did not know that.
Oh, I didn't know either until one of my girlfriends like, "Hey, so and so's going there." I was like, "Did you say 150,000 a year that you go there?" She's like, "No, a night." I'm like, "Why? Are they giving you gold or something? What is happening here?" It's a private island someone owned, and you actually go on a plane, and then from the airport you get taken by a helicopter. And then from there, you have the entire mini island to yourself to do whatever parties that you want. 24/7 chef, maids, you name it. And I was like, $150,000. You know how many schools I could create? Like, honestly, if I was rich, I would have Level Up Academy schools everywhere in the world to make education affordable, if not free for everyone, and pay teachers what they deserve. That really is like my other goal before I die. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that would be my goal because as a teacher, I know how hard it is to work with students, both K to 12 and also being a professor. But there's so many red tapes, right? To school, and the things that you're learning mostly is theory, not experiential learning or even soft skills. So it's a disservice to our students. I think we need to change the educational system, but because I can't do it, I create my own school. I just create a little tiny school, but nobody really knows, and the people who knows about it get leveled up, right? And you're doing the same thing. You're changing ESPN and all the thoughts of sports into a business deal, into a elevating your community. Now, Mike, I wanted to ask you too. I'm curious how do you look for sponsorship? Like when someone goes here, it's like, hey, I have this show, I have this TV show, I have a radio. How do you look for sponsorship? And when you have that conversation, what is the first thing that you would ask a possible sponsor to your show?
One of the things that I always talk about is, because I work for the radio, I don't work for the radio station. They will not give me the data and analytics. So a person wonders how I do what I do. It comes about because of they know me. They see me. It's well documented about what I do and how people engage with me out there. So when people see me, they're like, "Oh, okay, you're my king." And then they're like, "Okay, so can you help my business?" 1 second here, I'm going over to a different studio. It's kind of crazy right now. So people wonder, how can I help you get to where you need to be? And they know someone else who I've helped, and that's what happens with that one.
So definitely a word of mouth. So I'm still correct. I teach courses, business entrepreneur, international business, neuromarketing, for my master's and doctoral students. So I always tell them, hey, when it comes to social media or any type of medium, word of mouth is still the king out of any other social media out there, because people will buy from you if they know who you are. Like you said, you are your brand, and they will buy from you if they know who you are and what you do and what can you do for them. It's always the with them. But I think it's hard for people who are like me, right? I'm definitely trying to find sponsors who aligns with me, because it's all about alignment for me, and I'm looking for people who aligns with my vision, which is to level up the world through education. And education can mean anything. How do you actually say, hey, these are the people I'm bringing in, these are some of the ideas that they have, and would you like to sponsor my show? How do you
You know what I
approach that?
say?
Yeah.
I got a line that I say.
Oh no, I can't hear you again. You mute yourself. Hold on.
You're
There
right.
you are.
So I got a line that I say. The microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff. That's it. I do, because people will pay for what they need to. I just have to explain and show them that you're going to get something from being on the show. That's it. If when people don't come on the show, if I say to you that the Today Show will give you 5 minutes, I'll fly you to New York in 5 minutes, and you get a chance to be on network TV. Who is going to turn that down for 5 minutes? No one. So I tell people, you have to view yours the same. Mine is the same way. It's going to have an impact. We're going to have an impact of what we're doing. People are gonna. Before I used to pay people, hey, if you would come on the show, it'd cost you $100, and you pay $25 a week. And when nobody called them after the first week, you know what they did? They didn't give me the second $25. That's what it came down to, because they didn't see the long term value in it. It had to turn into. They had to understand what I offered. And it took a while. It takes a while. People have to see you over and over and week after week and understand. My thing is, who do you need to meet? We're going to march in the door, and I'm going to invite them into the studio, and you're going to be here. Or I'm going to tell them, you bring them into the studio, and I'm going to show them why they need to do this. You're doing the same thing with your TV show. We're going to get somebody else to pay for it. Why? Because you're going to benefit from being here with us.
Yep. Yep, that's right. And that is what it is. It's I have an international market and I want to highlight Dr. News. She's part of Level Up Academy. Yeah, we have a magazine now. We have a TV show. We just got a radio, the Block 105 radio. Um it's going to air 7 p.m. PST every other Saturday starting this Saturday. Um any type of anywhere that you need to be in terms of what matters, we got it a level up. Now it's a matter of finding the right sponsor to align with us. We also have publishing, right? We publish books and ghost rights and do graphics. We pretty much do everything a level up because we have the people. Now it's just finding the alignment of people that we need. I before I let you go, what are some of the tips that you can provide people who are starting right now to align and collaborate with other people? What are some of the benefits of aligning and collaborating with people?
There's power in numbers, that's for sure. I could leave to go to California right now. I want to go because I don't want to wait for my friends to leave tomorrow night. I don't have time to wait, and I'm leaving, and you guys are sitting here doing whatever. I'm progressing towards California, but it's just me. So, and I'm good through Ohio. We get to Indy. I'm good. I'm ready to get over there. The Midwest towards Kansas City by myself. I don't think so, but that's a stretch. I'm going to run out of gas. And you know what happens? You guys are going to ride right by me when we get to about Colorado because I got to stop and you guys don't. There's power in numbers. The other thing is, everybody, you have to talk to the right people and get in the rooms where the CEO is because policies are made at the top. Everybody else, my dad would always say, you know what? Cash is king. Everybody else is talking terms. We don't need to talk a deal if you got the money. But it's really about having sponsors to ask the right people to showcase what you do and the value of why they need to be with you. When I go into a place, you're like, so what are the analytics? I'm like, I don't know. I would probably get more business if I knew. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk you in the door and I'm gonna pound on that door until that person opens the door who's gonna be your sponsor. Because you need to meet that person. I need to put you in the room with that person so they see the value of what you're doing.
Yeah. Knock the door with me. There's power in numbers, Mike. Let's go knock the door.
There's
Because
power in numbers. That is
that's
true.
right. That's right. And the more that we provide, the more that we can amplify people's message. There's 8 billion people in the world. We have a lot to do, right? And we do it one person at a time. And making sure like that is the thing, right? People always don't see the value in what you do. It's just honing that message in and say this is what it can do for you when it comes to value. I am definitely big on analytics. I like to see it, but I don't let that dictate because just because you have 50,000 followers doesn't mean 50,000 are engaging with you, right? Numbers are a lie sometimes. You get a lot of numbers, but they're not engaging. So, what is the point if you have all these numbers and no one's engaging with you? And some people don't engage because they're watching you. And I love what you said about we can't just say what we want to say sometimes in certain things because we are everywhere, right? And so we got to make sure that we're on top of that. But really, what we're trying to do is amplify people's message. How do we get a hold of you, Mike?
Okay, you can reach me at the radio show is On the Mic with Mike RVA. That's on the MIC with Mike RVA. You can follow me on Mike King on LinkedIn. I am there. So the ESPN 106 app is there. You can hear me there. Uh, and social media. Mike King Biz is one. The other one is On the Mic with Mike RVA.
Awesome. So this is what we're gonna do. Mike and I are gonna collaborate. We're gonna blow up our community with the Hounds of Business with the other Mike, because at the end of the day, we want to share your message. Any parting message for our listeners, for our YouTube subscribers, for our MP3 people, our radio. What is your last message to them?
If you think you're doing too much, do more. do do more. You never can do too much on letting people know whether it's average. There's ways that you can advertise and get yourself out there without spending any money. It may be uncomfortable. You may feel like a nut walking around with a top hat and tuxedo on when nobody else does. But you know what? People are gonna remember you. And that's coming from a person who is I'm real introverted, but to beat starvation, I gotta be out there telling people, plus that and my wife would kill me if I don't bring the money in. So, you know, she wasn't a real big believer in this to start off with. It's just like, so Mike, wait a second. You got a job, you pay them at the end of the week. Like, what happened? You used to be a normal man. Now you're doing this little entrepreneur thing. So that's what it
Oh,
is.
I love it. You're like the wife? Oh yeah. I'm lucky. I'm not the breadwinner of my family. My husband is, right? But I also have the time to do it on top of everything else that I do because you're right. If you think you're doing more, go up. And people always say, how do you do what you do? Because I plan and I want to just multiply, 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 and find. And collaboration is the key to ensuring that people do hear you. So you hear that, people? Okay, Mike King just says, if you think you're doing more, do even more. So when
Do
you see
more.
me do even more, that's what we're doing,
That
amplifying.
that's what we're doing. So, well, it's been a pleasure. It has been
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much. Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for being here, Mike. I love that you're here. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I will see you around the hounds, and thank you for being here today.
all right, thanks. Take care now.
All right,
Bye.
bye. People, that was so amazing coming from Mike. He's a busy person. He's always interviewing people. He's always on the go. He does like 4 interviews a day. That crazy. I thought 1 interview was already a lot for me, but 4 interviews a day, that is so amazing. Janice, thank you so much for being here, sister. I miss you. I know you've been traveling to Europe. I will take a video. I'm hoping Susanna will also get her Tossie. We're gonna bring our Tossie in the airplane. We're coming to Orlando next week. We're leaving on Wednesday. We'll be back on Sunday. So Sandra Gonzalez and myself are going to be on that plane, and Susanna, we're going to be on the same plane. I'm hoping our dear sister Danielle is able to come. I don't know if Dr. New is coming. I know Sia's going to be there. Raquel's going to be there. The Soaring Prophet's going to be there. So we're going to have a party, right? I'm so excited because now I get to meet the people that I met here on LinkedIn in real life. Just FYI, you're like, where is CJ? The loud Asian that this tall? That was me. That's me. If you hear a loud Asian like, hi, I don't have no shame. People will be like looking at me weird because I'm screaming at my kids because I can't find them. And if she doesn't respond to her cell phone, I don't care if it's in supermarket, on theater, whatever. Bella! I'll scream, and people are like, "Did you lose your kid?" I'm like, Is she okay? Is she 5?" I'm like, "No, she's 16, but she's not responding to me right now." So I start screaming at her. And even my 20-year-old, if she doesn't respond to me, I'm like, "Angelina, mom, you're so embarrassing." I said, "I don't care. Pick up your phone." So now they're embarrassed, but at least I can find them. Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys. Look at Susanna. Woo woo. That was really good. So if you own a business, Mike basically said if you own a business, walk with your brand, right? Make sure that you show up for yourself. And if you think you're doing a lot, do more. So if you see me do more, that is exactly the key because we want to impact more people. We want to collaborate as many people as possible. I love collaboration over competition. It doesn't matter if you think that we're doing the same thing. Doing the same thing doesn't really mean anything because each single person, it looks like you're doing the same thing, but you're not because you are an individual. You are your own brand. You could take my classes, sell it to the public, and teach it, but it's never going to be the same because what's in my brain, what's in my heart, and how I do things is so different than what's in the paper. The same thing for you. If you think that someone is doing the same thing, don't get deflated. Keep going, keep innovating, keep thinking, keep asking questions, right? Because through those questions, you will find the answers that you need for sure. Yes, it was definitely great. Janice, I miss you, sister. We need to chat again for sure. If only I had teleporter, bro. Chocolate? Chocolate is my weakness, especially dark ones. One of these days, I will definitely go to Belgium. CJ Weird is your third name. That's right. I'm proud. And yes, I'm a pink girl. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Michelle, Susanna, Ollie, Dr. New, Jamie, another person was new, Scott. Scott says he's not going to wear makeup. So it's gonna be a challenge I want to do. For sure. Guys, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Please let me know if you need anything. Also, please let me know how I can amplify your message. Remember that every single Wednesday is a free live stream for everyone, also a freebie to come to our show, Level Up Academy and Level Up Circle. So we will see you around. Last time, I'm going to tell you that this book is coming out soon, and you have until next week to let me know if you wanted to be in this anthology. Part of this anthology, not only you're leaving a legacy and sharing your story to inspire the world, but you're also going to be part of a network of amazing people, get to know their story, lessons learned, and I will pay for our airtime to be on the TV show to read 5 minutes of your book, right? If it's less than that, it's fine, but 5 minutes of your book to share to the world. Because when you share, people can be affected by it, regardless of what they are, who they are, or where they are. Thank you guys so much. Keep leveling up, and I will see you around. I will see you on Thursday. There is no show tomorrow because I gotta edit the audio for my team to be on the radio, on the Block 105 radio on Saturday at 7 p.m. PST. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye.
Thanks for watching another episode of Level Up Academy today, brought to you by your none other host, Dr. Leland. Please do not forget to hit subscribe or push that notification bell so anything that we have an activity on at Level Up Academy, you will be the first one to know. If you would like to be a guest in our podcast, both on the MP3, audio only, and also here and live in our YouTube channel, please let me know. DM me. Let's connect. Have a fantabulous day.
Dance, people. Shake those worries away. Just have fun. Take good vibes. It's energy time. And karaoke time. One of these days. Bye, everybody.